That movie, Straw. Hmm, that was a good movie. Here are some side notes from me looking at that movie through my clinical lens. One, you can be good regardless. You can be good regardless of your situation. You can be good regardless of your position. Your situation and your position, it's not an excuse not to be good. I mean, we would understand, right? People can empathize with your situation when you're not good. However, I'm saying you can still be good regardless of how difficult your situation is or your position. She was so broke. She didn't even have money for her daughter's school lunch. She was so broke, she couldn't even pay her rent. The average person will be thinking, oh, let me save up as much as I can. Let me keep together as much as I can. It will add up. But still, she still was able to give alms to her neighbor who was poor. And instead, she's cautioning him, hey, here, this is for food. It is not for alcohol. I always say something. You cannot give what you don't have. Here's what I mean. I mean character-wise. The you that shows up in a tight situation in the face of adversity, that's you. Sometimes people say that's your situation. No, that's not your situation. That's you. And here's what I mean. If you squash a bug, you would never find blood in the bug. Why? Because a bug does not have blood. What comes out of a person, even in a tight situation, shows that person who they are. It's just the hidden part of that person that they've not gotten to meet because they've never found themselves in a situation where that part of them is going to come out. Sometimes people make excuses and say, oh, it's the situation. No, it's not the situation. That's you. And that's not a way of judging people. That's a way of highlighting the part of you that needs work on. Because when everything is all nice and dandy, right, it's easier for you to process, to make good decisions, to decide, because everything is nice and dandy. But the you that shows up in a difficult situation, that lady, throughout her challenges, she was still kind, she was still good. Everybody faces challenges. Everybody will face some form of challenge. For some people, those challenges trickles, right? So it's a drop and it gives you room to breathe, and it drops again and it gives you room to breathe, right? That way you're able to think through, tackle the situation. However, for some people, when the challenges come, it pours. When it pours, it doesn't give them room to breathe. And in her Taraji's situation in this movie, that's what happened. It poured. It didn't give her room to breathe. And that's why she got to a place where she felt overwhelmed and she broke. It can be overwhelming. And in that state, it just takes a straw to break the camel's back. And that was the situation for Taraji. She had back to back to back to back challenges that she got to a point where she broke. For Taraji's situation, that's not one of the situations where you're wanting to tell her, engage your coping skills. There was no room. She didn't have a breather. There was no room for her to engage those coping skills. She just got to the point where she broke. And in that situation, that's the resultant effect of some of the actions that we saw in the later parts of that movie. With that being said, a little kindness can go a very long way. People are going through stuff, and some of them don't wear it on their face. And that's why I think that this movie was a reminder for me and to me to be very intentional in showing kindness to everybody I come across. The least any one of us can do is be nice. Niceness does not cost anything. Actually, it takes more from us to be mean, to be unkind. It takes a lot from us to do that versus being kind to people. The bank manager exhibited such grace that I admired so much. I'm trying to not give away the movie while still sharing my insight on this movie because I know some people or a lot of people are still yet to watch it and I don't want to spoil it for them. But the bank manager, she exhibited emotional intelligence at the end of that movie. I probably will come back and do another video months later when I know that a lot of people have watched the movie so that I can properly analyze this movie. Because there's so much lessons to learn from that movie. So much. That movie got me reflecting back at my life. It does not cost us anything to be nice to people. The least we can do is be nice to the people that we come across because we don't even know what they're going through. And sometimes it's our one little action that's going to tip them off the edge. Our one little action. And you can be like, well, it's not my fault. I'm not the problem of their life. I'm not the reason why they're here. But you were the reason why they now eventually broke. Or you were a contributing factor to their problem. Look, that movie, I did a lot of reflection after watching that movie. And I'm going to try to be intentional, to be kind to everybody I come across, while still holding my boundaries. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we break our boundaries, we don't have any form of self respect or hold people accountable. That's not what I'm saying at all. In all of that, there's still lessons to be learned. There's still roles that each and every one of us can still play in the lives of people that we come across, and we don't have to know them. They don't have to be our friends. They don't have to be our co-workers. They could just be a stranger, and one act of kindness can change their situation, can give them a rethink, can turn their life around, can maybe not turn their life around, but prevent them from tipping off the edge, prevent the camel's back from breaking. That's just my thought, but I think that that's such a good movie. I watched that movie alone, but I'm going to rewatch that movie with my kids because I think that there's a lot of lessons to learn that can be taught through that movie. Yeah, let me know in the comment section if you've watched the movie and what your thoughts are on that movie. Do you think it was a good one? What other lessons did you learn from it? Because I probably might have missed something, somebody else learned something. Let's share our thoughts. Let's share what we learned from that movie. Let's share our ideas. Let's just share what we think about the movie. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts are in that movie. But I would say people are going through a lot. People are in pain. A lot of you, look, people are going through a lot. And the least we can do is be kind. The least we can do is be kind. You don't have to give alms like she was giving, but just one kind word, just exhibiting a little bit more patience for somebody else would go a long way. Yeah. Okay.